Now hey guys, welcome back to the channel and another Swiss 001 video. Now welcome back aboard the 737-800, which is, by the way, perfectly flying right now. All is looking good. Yeah, we are right now above the island of Palma de Mallorca, a place that we like to visit here in the flight simulator. And let's land down here at the airport. Now, so far this has been a totally successful flight from somewhere in Europe, probably Germany. Isn't this a German plane as well? It's a German plane, so probably from Munich or Frankfurt or Dusseldorf, it doesn't matter. We are right now finishing off our flight on the Spanish island. Now, obviously, here in the cockpit, we are not the ones flying the plane, actually. The autopilot is obviously flying the plane, and it is right now approaching the runway of, I think this is 26 left or something. We are flying an ILS Cat 3 approach. We have activated here the app switch, which basically means now that this plane is landing itself down on runway 24. We are right now 5 nautical miles out, so let's go ahead and get the landing gear down. All is looking good. Let's get the flaps all ready because, you know, the landing is coming closer and closer. Yeah, again, we're flying the instrument approach here, the ILS. And yeah, down here in the instrument, we can see these two diamonds. This one does the localizer, which is the, you know, this shows if you're actually heading the right way for the runway. And this one shows your altitude, you know, whether you're too high or not. Yeah, the autopilot, what it's simply doing right now is following these diamonds, basically, and bringing this plane down to the ground. Which means, yes, the auto landing is activated. Yeah, this plane is going to land itself down on this runway. Actually, as pilots, we can just, you know, step outside of the cockpit and watch this landing done by a computer. Let's watch that. Yeah, we are completely going to stay out of all of this. Actually, this is looking very nice. You know, the thing about autopilot versus human is that there's no, you know, oscillation or, oh, wow. Oh, that was not a good landing. Why is the autopilot putting up? All right. Oh, goodness. Yeah, what I was going to say about autopilot versus humans was that, you know, humans, they are not perfect. Autopilot isn't either, but, you know, it's movement, basically. What I mean by that is that the approach is totally stable. There's no wobbling around or anything, which you can normally find in a plane. There we go. As you can tell here, the autopilot did this very smoothly, very easing it up on the yoke. And as you can tell, the plane literally landed itself. Very interesting stuff. Let's check that landing out again. Not that good of a flare, but it did try. Yeah, well, it was a safe landing. It was a safe landing indeed. All right, that was obviously perfect. Let's try throwing some challenges at the 737-8 autopilot. Now, I've already done this somewhat in the A320, and that one didn't do so well, especially with winds. Let's put in some winds here. All right, welcome back aboard. Let's go ahead and add some weather here while the autopilot is again flying this plane. Literally, this is one of the most easiest videos I've ever done. I don't really have to do anything. The plane is doing all the flying on its own. All right, let's add some atmospheric conditions. What I mean by that is let's remove the visibility to 0. Literally 0. There we go. That is going to add in some fog, which is what we want. So we literally have 0 visibility. We won't be able to see the runways. This will be interesting. Let's go. All right, this is what I'm talking about. We have very low visibility. I cannot see the runway from here. This is obviously no visual conditions, but that's no problem for the ILS systems because it's using instruments to land, obviously. And yeah, of course, the autopilot of this flight simulator does not have cameras or anything, which the autopilot of something like a Tesla car does have. That one uses cameras to track down traffic. That's not the thing here. It uses, you know, the frequency of the ILS to determine its altitude and all that stuff. It doesn't need to actually see the runway to land on it because it actually cannot see it in any way. So, does that make, I guess that makes kind of sense. All right, then we can stop now. The autopilot has safely guided us down to the runway, even though we cannot see a thing. So that's perfect. Let me try some other conditions. You know, this is like a autopilot versus human remake or something. In this case here, in the foggy landing, the autopilot did win because, you know, I could have not landed this plane here with this fog. Only the autopilot was able to, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and try some other challenges. Let's get some wind, some rain, and some, you know, other bad weather in here as well. All right, welcome back aboard the 737. Let's go and get the approach mode on. There we go. We've just pressed the magical button. Let's go ahead and get the IAS on, the speed mode of the autopilot. Now the plane is targeted towards flying around 140. So that's all we need for this landing, I guess. Something that I want to add is, you know, some winds. Enter here some stormy weather. There we go, of X-plane. And the autopilot is continuing to fly this plane down to the ground, though, I guess. I hope. Well, so far it hasn't deactivated itself. So I guess the plane is going to land this plane, right? The plane is going to land this plane. I mean, it sounds weird, but it's true. All right, let's get the windshield wipers. Or actually, we don't need them, do we? All right, let's just. Meanwhile, we can visit the cabin or something. Maybe get the plane ready for the landing. The passengers as well. There you go. So we want some Coke, some Sprite. Let's make sure the plane is ready for. Oh, I forgot landing gear. I might want to put that out because the autopilot cannot do that. It's not, you know, an artificial intelligence computer or something. You do need to still help out a little bit. But no, this worked out perfectly fine. You know, serve the passengers again. We can even close the door. Okay, maybe that's not the smartest idea. Never mind. Welcome business class. Welcome peasant class. Let's actually spectate this very interesting landing out of the window of this 737-800. Wow, we even have water particles on here. This is pretty realistic, isn't it? All right, so where is the runway? Well, obviously we cannot see it. Check in again. Oh, this is actually looking pretty good. The autopilot is flying this plane perfectly fine, which is scaring me out. All right, 400. All right, let's switch to tower view. We can now see our plane from the view of the tower. Oh, we're actually looking pretty good here. Oh, there's some massive wind kicking in there, and we have a landing, I guess. I hope. Come on, just land. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Oh, that was way too good. Oh, now that's not good. There we go. Now that's good. Wow, that was really not bad. Okay, it was kind of all right. Yeah. I don't know. This was a very interesting landing indeed. Let's watch that here again. This was, by the way, a little bit of a crosswind landing. Yeah, you know what? Not too bad. This is kind of like a crosswind landing technique. Obviously, the autopilot is not specialized at landing the plane in crosswind, but this was fine enough, though. Oh, what's happened now? I don't know. All right, so this plane needs some more stuff to be thrown at. What can we do? I mean, there's so much potential, isn't it? All right, welcome aboard a very interesting flight again. Now the weather is good again, but let's change that in a sec. I just need to activate the autopilot, obviously. Meanwhile, the plane is nicely intercepting the localizer. Let's go ahead and turn on the approach mode. And the plane is now doing everything on its own. Perfect. Meanwhile, we can have some change of weather, I guess. I mean, what can we do? We can throw some more wind at it, I guess. I don't want to be too crazy, but let's just go for some 30. Okay, that is pretty crazy, actually. But let's go ahead and not have that much turbulence, though, because that's not going to be a good idea. Let's get actually like some direct crosswind. The runway heading is 240, so let's just add 90 degrees to that, like about 330, so that we have a perfect 90-degree crosswind. We even have a wind shear alert here. I don't think there's wind shear going on, but we have direct crosswind 30 knots, but the autopilot is still proudly flying the plane. All right. Okay, if you want to try, then I won't get in the way. Let's give it a chance. Let's go ahead and get the landing gear out again. Flaps out. There we go. All right, actually we're looking very good again. Jesus. Again, there's not much turbulence this time around. There's much wind. The wind is very stable, but still, let's actually switch to this position here so we can see how much crosswind there really is. As you can see, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty tough. Let's go ahead and see how the autopilot will handle that. Again, with no windshield wipers. Is the autopilot just gonna slam this plane down to the runway and probably actually break it? Let's see about that. Okay, never mind. All is good. Pretty ridiculous. Actually, I think now as a passenger, you can see the runway from the windows, so that's interesting. All right, let's see. I don't even know. Is this plane going to hit the runway? Oh no, don't run off. Oh, this was, oh no, goodness. Why is it pulling up? No, what is the autopilot doing? Oh, it's badly messed up. Jesus. All right, so we have to take this in our own hands. All right. Oh, all right. That is a 737 gone. We have lost our nose landing gear due to a hard landing. And yeah, we're wasted now. All right. Yeah, we've actually completely slid off the runway thanks to our nose landing fracture. Not good. So that's the 737 autopilot for you. It's not better than a human pilot specifically, but you know, when it comes to flying in fog and stuff, it can do that quite well. All right, welcome aboard a very much different plane, actually, like genuinely. Yeah, guess what this plane actually is? Of course, we are flying the Concorde right now. Now, something that a lot of people don't know about this plane from 1969 was that this plane could also land itself. As you can see, it has an auto land function, which is interesting. Let's just see if I can use it. Probably not, honestly. We can try to do it though. Autoland. Yeah, let's try this here. Let's tune in the frequency here of this airport, the ILS frequency, and hope that this works. I have no idea how this does work, but let's see. Maybe this will work. All right, VOR localizer, so that the plane is gonna hit the runway or something. It doesn't work. Why is it turning to the left? No. Yeah, all right, maybe this is why the Concorde failed. All right, so yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night.